Hello, greetings to everyone watching. I welcome you to the continuation of the previous lesson where we had left. So for today, we shall be looking at the category number 5, where we shall be discussing about maxima and minima. So we are at category number 5, that is the maxima and minima, in which the two terms can also be called mensuration. Mensuration. Now, this is a very crucial and important topic where it involves the use of some very useful and important words. Do not forget, the topic is very crucial and important. It involves some very useful and important terms that you must know. Here normally we shall interact with something like perimeter. Perimeter. I know getting perimeter of various figures or maybe object, we've done a lot. But the kind of perimeter in this calculus under the part mensuration is a bit different from the perimeter that you know. This part involves the use of the words such as only two words you will encounter in these maxima and minima questions. Number 1, that is maximum. Number 2, that is minimum. And that is why I told you that maxima, some people call it maxima. Minima, some people call it minimum. All right. I want you to note this. I want you to note this very well. Let not these two words, that is maxima and minima, confuse you with the subtopic of number 6, which we are about to do. The subtopic number 6 is a VV, important terms, and the VV here means very, very important terms. That is why I want you to get me clearly. Let not maximum and minimum, the two words here, confuse you with the subtopic which we are about to do after finishing this one. Okay, the following questions are highly tested when it comes to the subtopic number 5, maxima and minima. Before the question, please, you must know that these type of questions have no function like y is equal to ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus maybe what? Maybe a. Listen. Maxima and minima. These type of questions have no function like this format. They are totally different. And sometimes after doing all calculus, after breaking all the calculus, these things can be combined. So you will never get an examiner setting you a question from Maxima and Minima subtopic, or setting you a question from a curve sketching, or maybe stationary point. No, they will be combined. And it is you who should be in a position to know how this question has been set. Okay, now let us do the questions. Let us we shall look at a lot of questions before we go to the next part. Remember, sorry. Remember, we are only remaining with one subtopic, and we are through with differentiation. From differentiation, we shall get into integration. Remember, differentiation is just a part of calculus, and I know how long it is. But remember, that is just a part of calculus. Then we shall move to another part of calculus, which is integration. Great. Now, let us start with this question. I would want you to maybe pause the video if you can't continue with me. Now, the question read, I will not write the question because it may consume a lot of my time. So just listen, or maybe you'll replay back the video. Now, the question read, a rectangular plate has a perimeter of 28 centimeter. Determine the dimension of the plate that give maximum area. Guys, I think whatever I'm doing, I'm simplifying these things for you, because these are the kind of questions you will encounter. And how will you know that this type of question is from this subtopic? I've already given you the key terms in each and every subtopic we've done. And now in Maxima and Minima, I'm telling you that this type of question involves the use of only two words, that is Maxima and Minima. Nothing else. If you get nothing else to whatever I'm telling you, that is another different question. So let me reread the question again. A rectangular plate has a perimeter of 28 centimeter. Determine the dimension of the plate that give maximum area. The key terms there is the maximum. And remember, area. So do not forget that. Maximum area. Okay. So have a sketch. Remember, this is a rectangular plate. So have a sketch of a rectangle. So this is how our rectangle looks like. Now, the perimeter is 28 centimeter. Perimeter is 28 centimeter. Determine the dimensions of the plate that give maximum area. I think from primary all the way to the current class which you are, I believe, and I know, and I'm sure that getting or having a formula for getting perimeter of a rectangle is not an issue at all to you. How do we always get perimeter of what? Of a rectangle? It is 2 length plus 2 width, or 2 into length plus width. That one can work. That one can work. But remember one thing. What are we dealing with? We are okay, not what are we dealing with, but what have we been asked? That is the maximum area. Determine the dimension of the plate that give maximum area. That means for us to get the dimensions, then we must apply the area of the rectangle. So again, I'm taking back. How do we get area of a rectangle? That is length times width. Now. Remember, this is perimeter. This is perimeter. So let width be x, because I'm very sure the length must always be longer than the width. So if my width, guys, if my width is x, what will be my length? What will be my length? Remember, this now is just a reasoning. You only have to reason. Nothing is difficult at this point. You only have to reason with the question. So to get length will be what? Length will be 28 minus, how many width do we have? We have 1, 2. So minus what? How many width do we have? Obviously it's 2. So minus 2x. Remember, I want one length. That is why I've not written here 2. Or it is not mathematical to write one length, because it doesn't make sense. So for me to get length, it is 28 minus 2x divided by how many lengths do we have in a rectangle? It is only 2. So divide by 2. Divide by 2. So simplifying this, our length will be what? 2 goes into 2, 1 into 28, 14. So it is 14 minus 2 into 2, 1 into 2, 1. So 14 minus x. So this is my length. So I'll come and write it here. I'll come and have it written here that my length is 14 minus x. 14 minus x. Now to continue, remember, those are just expression. They are just expression showing us that these are not the actual values that we need. The actual value that we need, we must calculate it. Now, how do we get area of a rectangle? It is length times width. What is my length? 14 minus x into bracket. Remember, bracket also refers to multiplication, dot refers to multiplication, and refers to multiplication. So those are things that you must know. What is my width? My width is x. My width is x. So multiplying this is right. But if I were you, I would change it to be x multiplied by 14 minus x. This one I think will be much more better. Open the bracket. We have 14x minus x squared is equal to area. Remember, we are dealing with calculus and we want to get the dimension. And for us to get the dimension, we must differentiate. Now, the main reason why we were having dy over dx, it is because we were differentiating the y. Remember, when y is equal to x squared plus bx, we are differentiating y. Now it is y over the x. Suppose the question is this way, and suppose the function, not the question, but the function is this way: x is equal to y squared plus cx plus b. For us to differentiate this, it will be now dx all over dy. So don't just be there knowing always when differentiating is dy over dx. No, it is never that. Remember, it can change. So there is something I want to show you with that. So remember, here we are having a is equal to 14x minus x squared. Now, for us to differentiate this, we are differentiating the area all over the coefficient of the terms, which is dx. So upon differentiating this, that is dA over dx, we shall have 14 minus what? Minus 2x. Remember, when you are differentiating, this is a kind of something that is stationary. So when you are differentiating, the dA over dx will always be 0. Because remember, this is just a figure. So the kind of assumption being made here is that dA, when you are differentiating, when it comes to, okay, let us make it this way. In mensuration or maximum and minima, the differentiating dA over dx or maybe whatever should be equal to 0, because it will not be dA over dx, it will change. But let us have it that whenever you are differentiating, when it comes to maxima and minima, let it be 0. So like in this case, dA over dx equal to 14 minus 2x, which is equal to 0. From this point, we can ignore this part, but do not cancel it. We just ignore. So now we shall have 14 minus 2x equals to 0, where we shall have 14 equals to 2x. Now get the value of x. Divide by 2, divide by 2. What will be x? X will be 7. Now, if x is 7, what is the dimension? Remember, what is the dimension in? That give maximum area. The dimension that give maximum area. Our x is 7. What is our length? That is, our length was 14 minus x, which is what? Which is 7. So that means width is equal to 7, comma length is equal to 7, giving us a maximum area of 49 square centimeter. That is how your answer should be. Width provided, length provided, and the particular maximum area also provided. I know you might be wondering, like, how comes this thing is a rectangular and the kind of width or the kind of dimensions we are getting are square dimensions? That is it. That is how calculus is. So long as you know what you are doing and you have the right answer, don't question such. Just provide the answer, leave the rest of the question. Okay, that is that. Yeah. These type of questions are ironical to a point that an examiner give you the name of the object as the rectangle, but after obtaining the measurements, you find out that these measurements are particularly for square. So guys, don't be so much stressed about that. So long as you know what you are doing, you know the right procedure, you are on the right answer. Stress, no, no stress much about that. Let us look at question number 2. Maybe you will just write down, replay back the video. It will be still okay. Now, the question read, Jane has 1,800 meters of wire with which she wants to fence 3 sides of a rectangular plot of land. The 4th side is already fenced. Find the dimensions that will give maximum area possible. Are we together up to that point? Let me read the question again. Jane has 1800, that is 1,800 meters of wire with which she wants to fence 3 sides of a rectangular plot of land. The 4th side is already fenced. Find the dimension that will give maximum area possible. Maximum area possible. Draw a sketch. Let us draw a sketch of this question. Remember, it is a rectangular. Okay, not all question in Maxima and Minima will be rectangular. No. And that is why I'm telling you we are still coming to some questions and you will know that. You will have an idea. And that is why sometimes it is good for you at personal level to revise. Revise widely. Okay. What are we having? Let the width be x. So this is x. This is x. Remember, if width is 10, the other side will also be 10. There is no way a width of a rectangle will be 10 and the other side is maybe 12. So that one is impossible. Now, what is our length? What is our length? Our length, okay, remember, the 4th side is already fenced. So let us assume that it is only this part, that this part has been fenced. So the 3 sides haven't yet been what? Fenced. So that means the length will be 1800 minus 2x. That will be the length. But suppose that 4th side of the length wasn't fenced, then our answer, I don't know if I have, our answer would have been 900 minus x for the length. For the length here, if this part wasn't fenced, then our length would have been 900 minus x. 900 minus x. I hope you are getting something. So this type of question is different from the one we've just tackled. Okay. How do we get area of a rectangle? Length times width. So area will be what? The length, which is 1800 minus 2x into x. So rewrite the question. We shall have area is x into 1800 minus 2x. So we shall have what? We shall have area to be 1800x minus 2x squared. So differentiate the area to obtain the maximum dimension. To obtain the maximum dimensions. Okay. Okay. So we shall have what? dA all over dx, which is equal to 1800 minus what? Minus 4x, which is equal to what? 0. Remember what I've just told you, that when it comes to maxima and minima, let the differentiated value be 0. So 1800 minus 4x is equal to 0, whereby we shall have 1800 is equal to 4x. Divide by 4, divide by 4. What is value x? Remember that work leave for a calculator. In mathematics, when you're at Form 4 level, don't do everything with your brain, because there's a reason why I'm telling you this. Don't do everything with your brain. Don't. When it comes to calculation, any division, any multiplication, please give the calculator its work. The pressure of chemistry, physics, mathematics, all those other subjects, don't be such a person who does everything with the brain. But I know some are right, but I advise to sometimes just give a calculator its work. So 1800 divided by 4, we shall have our x to be 450. Now, if my x is 450, remember the x is my width. The x is my width. So that means width is 450. What will be my length? The expression for length, was what? 1800 minus 2x. So length will be 1800 minus 2x, which will be 1800 minus 2 into value x, which is width 450. So having 450 times 2, now 1800 minus 900, we are getting 900. So you see again, at this point, things are different. The dimension appears to be the right figures, or the right answers for a rectangle. So that means our width will be what? 450, and our length will be 900. So that is the answer. That is our answer. Okay. Now remember this some questions like, okay, now to 900 times 450, our answer will be 405,000. 405,000 square centimeter. This is the maximum area possible. But remember, not in all cases should you provide the area, because some question will only want you to get the width and the length, and that is it. So not all question will require both the dimension and the maximum area. So be aware of that one. So I want you to note this. To find the minimum or maximum area, or maybe dimension, first differentiate area with respect to the length, equating it to 0. I think I've just explained those things. What I'm trying to say that if you differentiated the area in respect with the length, that is the coefficient of the length, which is x, Then after differentiating it, equate it to 0. So that is what I'm trying to say. Now, the word maximum or minimum goes with area or dimension or value. Sometimes the word maximum or minimum can fail to be used by an examiner. Sometimes. But in most of the question you'll do, you'll encounter minimum and maximum. So, let us check out another question, totally different from the two that we've done, totally different from the two that we've tackled. Let me read the question. The question always look like more of that. It is what? The question, it always wants to look more like there's this question where we substitute a lot. Yeah, linear equation. Yeah. Linear equation. The kind of question being tested in the minima and maxima, it is more equal to the linear expression. So let me just read this. The sum of two numbers x and y is 40. I hope you've encountered a lot of this in your revision or in any exam of mathematics you've sat for. Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, and now when it comes to Form 4, it is something different. You only have to know the concepts. Now, the sum of two numbers x and y is 40. Write down an expression in terms of x for the sum of the squares of two numbers. Hence, determine the minimum value of x squared plus y squared. I always give you shortcut, and that is my work. In terms, you will encounter this a lot. In terms means make the remaining variable. In terms, okay, let me write this one for you. In terms, only in mathematics. In terms means make the remaining do not worry about my handwriting, please. Make the remaining or the second variable. I hope you know what a variable is. The subject of the formula. The subject. I don't know if we haven't tackled this topic yet, but it's very much interesting. Make the second variable the subject of the formula. The subject of the formula. Okay. Now, the sum of two numbers, x and y, is 40. Let us solve that question. X plus y is equal to 40. The sum of two numbers, x and y, equals to 40 or is 40. Write down an expression in terms of x. Now, these people have given you x as in terms. Now, and we are only having x and y. What is the second variable, or what is the remaining variable? Obviously, it is y. So this y, it is the one that we shall make the subject of the formula, or y, it is the one that we are supposed to make the subject of the formula. Yeah. Aha. Write down an expression in terms of x for the sum of the squares. Remember, okay, sometimes take your time to read and understand a question. Take your time to read and understand a question. Write down an expression in terms of x for the sum of the squares. For the sum of the squares of the two numbers. Okay, this type of a question requires step-by-step method to solve. Before we go too far, let us deal with the in terms of, let us deal with in terms of x. So that means I shall make y. Now. If already I have x, let us solve that part of in term. Let us make y the subject of the formula. If x plus y equals to 40, making y the subject of the formula will be what? 40 minus x. Very much easy. So we are having two numbers. We are having this number, the first one. Then we are having this, the second number. But remember now, the second y, or the second number, is in terms of x. Now it is not y. It is not y. It is in terms of x. Now we are having x and 40 minus x. Now 40 minus x, in this case, it is just the same as y. But remember, the examiner does not want us to use y. He wants us to write down an expression in terms of x, which is now 40 minus x and not y. So this is how this question is different from those other questions that you know about the sum of numbers. Okay, that part is done. Now continue reading the question. For the sum of the squares of two numbers. Already we have the two numbers. That is x and 40 minus x. So an examiner wants us to write the sum of these numbers squared. So we shall have x squared plus 40 minus x squared. So this is what an examiner wants us to do. X squared plus 40 minus x into bracket squared. Are we understanding one another? And remember, x, this one equals to the sum. Remember, x squared plus 40 equals to the sum. Now, it is now mathematics part. So it is x squared plus, now let us solve this. This one is the same as 40 minus x with 40 minus x multiplied. So it is 40 into 40 minus x into 40 minus x. So we shall have 4 by 4 is 16, that is 1600 minus 40x minus 40x plus 2x squared. So we are having 1600 minus 80x plus 2x squared. Now that one is 40 into bracket 40 minus x squared. So combining it with the x, we shall have x squared plus 1600 minus 8x plus 2x squared equals to what, guys? To the sum. So collect like terms, we shall have 3x squared minus 80x plus 1600 equals to the sum. So this is what we are supposed to have. Okay, I'm sorry. And that is why I told you that sometimes doing mathematics with your brain will mislead you. Sometimes, underline the word sometimes, it will mislead you, because that there's a part, it should be x, squared, not 2x squared. Remember, when you do a lot of mathematics, sometimes your brain, your eyes just look at a question, and already your brain have the answer. How? It is much revision and the passion toward that subject. But that one can again mislead you, because you must give the calculator its work, must. So here we should be having 2x. So I'm sorry for that. I think for those guys who are keen, I hope you've noticed that part. So x squared plus x squared, we have 2x squared minus 80x plus 1600. Okay. So rewrite this. Remember, rewrite this into mathematical term. So our sum will be 2x squared minus 80x plus 1600. Now differentiate. Should an examiner see you doing the y over the x, like, you will be mad person. Like, where are you getting y? And we are only having the sum and the x. So for you to differentiate this, you must have we are differentiating the sum in respect to the coefficient of the values, which is x. Now, upon differentiating this, we are having 4x minus 80. Remember, 1600 have no variable, so it disappears just like that. And remember, when dealing with the maxima and minima, whenever after differentiating, always equate it to 0 for you to get the values in which you are looking for. So we shall have 4x minus 80 equals to 0. From that point, we shall have 4x equals to 80. Upon dividing by 4, our x will be 20. What will be our y? Go back to the expression of y. Is it expression or equation? Yeah, equation. Go back to the equation of y. Now, for us to get y, the equation there is 40 minus x. And what is our x? Our x is 20. So taking 40 minus 20, you get 20. So x is 20, y is 20. Up to this point, you are eligible to getting 3 marks. But remember, what does the question want us to get? Hence, determine the minimum value of x squared plus y squared. Hence, after obtaining the two numbers, which is 20 and 20, now determine the minimum value of x squared plus y squared. So an examiner wants you to get 20 squared plus 20 squared, which will be what? 800. Okay. Let us look at the second last question. The perimeter of a rectangular prism. I hope you know how to draw various objects. I hope you know how to draw various objects or various figures, the shape of various mathematical figures. That is a rectangle, prism, pyramid. So you must know how to draw all of those things. Now, the question reads, the perimeter of a rectangular prism cross-section is 52 centimeter. If the area of the cross-section is maximum, find its dimension. Find its dimension. So let us draw a sketch. Let us draw a sketch. Let us draw a sketch. Now, I hope it is not that much bad, but you can still follow what I want us to discuss about. Now, the perimeter of this rectangular cross section is 52 centimeter. The perimeter is 52 centimeter. The perimeter is 52 centimeter. If the area of the cross section is maximum, find its dimension. Find its dimension. Remember, being exposed to a lot of revision, exposing yourself to a lot of revision will give you that confidence, will give you that ability to always interpret a question very much well compared to others. Someone who doesn't do revision and come across this type of question, he or she will leave it blank. He or she will leave it blank. And you will wonder with that student, like, how, what, why? Let me tell you something in this question that is hidden. The perimeter of a rectangular prism cross section. Cross section means only one part. Only one part. Only one part. Like this prism is made up of rectangle. This prism is made up of several rectangles. And how many rectangles? I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rectangles making up this prism. Now, only a section, cross section, just one. Just one. If you're having a box, just come and cut. Just one cross section. This one. Now, this one cross section, its perimeter is the one that have been provided. So, an examiner also will tease your mind. He or she will want to know, how smart is this student? How smart is this student? Okay. Now, this one, the way we normally do, let the width be x, this other side be x. So for us to get the length, what do? The length will be, remember, we only want length, one length. So the length will be 52 minus the 2 width. That is 2x. Divide by, how many lengths do we have there? 2. Remember, we only want one length. So that means our length will be 52 divided by 2. Use a calculator, guys. Use a calculator. 52 divided by 2, that is 26. So 26 minus 2 divided by 2x, that is x. So that is our length. Our length. So remember, if the area of the cross section is maximum, read that question carefully. If the area of the cross section is, find its dimension. That means that question doesn't want us to get the maximum area. Already the question itself is informing us that the cross section of the area is maximum. Just get the dimensions. Okay, how do you get area of a rectangle, length times width, length times width. Now, that one will be what? Remember our width is x, our length is 26 minus x, 26 minus x. So we shall have what? We shall have 26x minus what? X squared. So remember, this is area. Now, differentiate it. That is dA over dx now will be equal to 26 minus 2x, which is equal to 0. So we shall have 26 equals to 2x. What is my value x? What is my value x? 13. 13. Now remember that is the width. X there represented width. Now what is what is length? What is length? Length, we had an expression of 26 minus x. That is now 26 minus 13. 26 minus 13 is still 13. So getting all writing the dimension, you'll come and write it. Therefore, width equals to 13 centimeter and length equals to 13 centimeter. Tick, tick, tick. Let us look at the last question, then we close the lesson of today. The last question reads, the sum of k and t, the sum of k and t is 56. The sum of k and t is 56. Part of the question what us, give an expression of the sum of the squares of k and t in terms of t. Really, guys, mathematics is interesting. Yeah, it is. You only have to develop that passion and everything will be fine. The sum of k, the sum of k and t is equal to what? Is equal to 56. Give an expression of the sum of the squares. Give an expression of the sum of the squares in terms of t. That means what will we make our subject of the formula? That is k. So that means t is already independent. So let us make k the subject of the formula. So k will be what? 56 minus t. 56 minus t. Now, give an expression. Remember, an expression is totally different from an equation. Equation has an equal sign. Expression doesn't have an equal sign. So make sure you are familiar with those terms. That is expression and equation. Now, remember, give an expression of the sum of the squares. So they want us to get t squared plus 56 minus t squared. Just an expression. And remember, you cannot leave your answer like this. You haven't done anything. Okay, this is what is required, but you can't leave your answer unsimplified this way. So you must simplify. So whatever we shall look at is 56 minus t multiplied by 56 minus t. So we shall have 56 into 56 minus t into 56 minus t. So we shall have what? 56 times 56, 56 times 56 is 3136 minus 560 minus 560 plus t squared So we have 3136 minus 56 times 2, that is 112t plus t squared. Then include the t that was left hanging, this other one, so plus t squared. Then simplify it now all, so we shall have 2t squared minus 112t plus 3136 So this is what the first question requires us to get. Very much correct. Now the part B of the question want find the minimum value of k squared plus t squared. Find the minimum value. Find the minimum value of k squared plus t squared. Very much easy, very much easy. Now remember this one. This one was just an expression required. So if you were to write s equals to 2t squared minus 112t plus 3136, you are to get it wrong. Why? The question wants just an expression. And expression is totally different from an equation. The part B is now the part that you should do something like that, like this. In part B, now you should do something like this. Now let us differentiate this. So we have this, the ds over dt equals to what now, guys? 40 minus 112 minus 112 equals to 0. That is after differentiating. Differentiating the sum and the t, the coefficient of the values. So we are having now 40 equals to 112. What is our t upon dividing by 4? What is our t? Our t will be 28. 112 divided by 4, yeah, 28. It's 28. So let us get the k. What is our k? If already we have the t. What was the expression of k? K was 56 minus t, and t is 28. Now taking 56 minus 28 is still 28. Tick, 2 marks. You haven't answered the third part of the question. Find the minimum value of k squared plus t squared. So minimum value of k squared, which is 28, plus t squared, which is again 28 squared. So having that in your calculator, we shall have 1568. That is the answer. Remember, no units. Suppose the sum of k and t was a centimeter, then our answer here could have been what? 1568 square centimeter. Or suppose k and t was 56 units, then our answer could have been 1568 units square. Or suppose find the minimum value of k squared plus. Yeah. Or suppose the question wanted us to get the minimum value of area of k squared and t squared, then our answer here could have been 1568 unit square centimeter. So guys, I thank you very much for following, and I know at the end things will just fine. You only have to be persistent, even if still you are not understanding, but just be persistent, because it is better to try than failing to do anything. Because at the end, I don't want to say it, but make sure you are trying, or you are familiar with the topic. Just try. And I always tell you that I will teach you for free if you are willing. You only have to buy data or be online, or maybe just 1 hour is enough. Or if you want to go 2 hours, I'll go with you. I'm always free. I'm always free. But first, you must make an appointment. You have to make an appointment, then later we can help one another. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for always tuning to this channel to watch mathematics. Thank you all, and please, if you have not yet subscribed, kindly do so, and also invite other friends to come and let us learn together. Let us learn together. So when we meet next, we will tackle the last part under differentiation. We shall tackle the last part under differentiation, that is the VV. VV, which means very, very important terms. Very, very important terms. You must not miss this. You must not miss this. I'm telling you, this is the last part under differentiation. So kindly follow up to the end. So from that point, then we shall enter integration, look at some few things, then we shall end our topic of calculus and look at another topic. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all. Thank you.